interesting. Do you have a pen here?
Hey there, dead person. We're about ready to begin. I'm glad it popped up in your notifications. This should be a lot of fun. It's been a while since we've done a live tournament like this, so bear with us as I attempt to handle the kinks.
So, we're going for 21.
We're gonna see if
We're going for the drinking age.
see if Ryan can go for 21. He won the Eternal Format tournament at Dragon's Art Alamo Ranch earlier today, and he's here at my place for the live tournament here. So this is a smaller tournament, though, so it's easier to win, I think. But well, it's all fun. It's fun. All right. Anyway, let's get looking at the tabletop. All right.
Tails.
Eternal Format players, you may begin.
What? I'll go second. Okay.
All right, here. I have my high tech setup for the timer. Not the best, but it's what I got. All right, our players here just getting set up. This is round one. There will be 3 rounds today, followed by a finals. This should be a lot of fun.
Are we good?
You are good to start. Lost Box versus Electric Box. Can move the mic toward our players so they can communicate. I'm not going to commentate over this because I don't want to ruin people's plays. I am in the same room with them.
And we will pass.
This is a different deck than the one you were playing earlier today. Obviously, you won today with all the viewers know.
High trap.
Yeah. So Did you really run it as a high drop deck though? 'Cause
No,
it's me
it's
mostly
it's
versus-
primarily the only game I really did the Hydrapple was against Magnezone.
So no
Um,
control.
yeah, to kind of just one shot the Magnezone. Besides that, it was just literally just Festival Grounds, which is basically how I built the core of the deck. Is literally to just be a Festival Grounds deck with Hydrapple as like I think if I need to take that big number knockout, and then yeah. Well, it also accelerates and heals at the same time, which is good. Okay, first, which one are you getting?
I'm grabbing the quick ball for the Miraidon.
Yeah, because
Professor Wheels.
I need you to
is pretty better.
announce your stuff.
Okay, so I'm doing a quick ball for the Miraidon using Tandem Unit to grab 2 Magnemite, still going back into the deck. A luxury ball.
Yeah.
Professor Wheels, I don't know if you can hear me, but is this any better?
What are you choosing?
Grabbing Lapras, playing the Lapras to grab the Guzma Hala. So going back in. Using Guzma Hala. Grab this.
So going through Guzman Hollow to get the Speed Lightning energy, I'm just gonna give it a touch variant, right?
I have
he
not.
doesn't.
I was going for turn one failure. Right?
I will Artizone.
Go back
Right.
in.
Mining. Do a speed energy. Speed lightning. Drop 2. Thunder Mountain. Then I'll Fleetfoot for 1. And then the Lightning Rondo for the knockout.
Level up. Footstone. Radiant Greninja. Chorus. Reach. Then Jirachi. And then we are going to Lost Cyclone. So you choose if you have 4 more on your bench, you choose you need to go down to 3 and the other 2 are lost owned. One of those I knew was obvious. The other one I'm actually really okay with. And then we will.
So for our viewers, how does Lost Cyclone work exactly? Now that you've
Um,
used it, but what's the trigger? What's the
So Lost Cyclone is once during your turn before you can attack, you may use this power. If any player who has 4 or more bench Pokemon chooses 3 of his or her bench Pokemon and puts the other bench Pokemon, all cards attached to them, into the Lost Zone. And then I will use Detour for Colress Experiment.
Draw for turn.
I haven't finished yet.
Oh.
Okay, now.
Okay. So I draw for turn now. I will attach here. Computer search.
If you're just now joining us, this is a live Eternal Format tournament taking place at my place, actually. We had a regular in real life Eternal Format tournament at Dragon's Art Alma Ranch earlier today. Today we have an extra tournament at my place. It's a little bit smaller than one we had at Dragon's Art, but it's fun all the same. Currently we're watching round 1. This is Magnezone Box versus Palkia Lost Box.
Not going back in.
Mm-mm.
You guys asked for a live tournament. I was able to do it today, so we got this.
More.
Yes, they are. They are amazing playmats. A good friend of mine was able to do the art for them for me, and I absolutely adore them.
Magnetic draw for 3. Star Alchemy.
Sorry, guys. I don't know why we're having so many problems with the audio. Degenerate, is this any better? I know, Curse, you were having issues hearing.
And then Magnetic Circuit. Fleet-footed. And then Lightning Rondo for the knockout.
Final wish.
Yeah, I've been trying to boost the audio, but it's like no matter what I do, it won't go past a certain point for some reason.
G. Support navigation. For course. Course. Dialga. Lost Cyclone. Cramorant. And then we will Streets. Mirage Gate.
That's a little more time. Yeah, they're so low. Why are they so low?
And spit instantly for weapon.
Kuzma up the Dialga. Then do a retreat. And fleet cleared. And then lightning runner for the knockout.
Guys, I've been messing with the audio to try to see if it's
Horse.
better for you guys. Let me. Here, is it distorting? And I'm like boosting the gain a lot to try to make it audible. For whatever reason, the audio that it's picking up is really light, even though the microphone's like right next to them.
Plus cycling. Mirage Gate. Instantly for knockout.
Speed, energy,
Speed lightning.
speed lightning. Yeah. Precious Seeker for Marnie.
Are you playing the Marnie?
Yes.
Okay.
Play the
Marnie
Marnie.
is being played. Both players shuffle their hand, putting their hands to the bottom of their deck. Player playing Marnie draws 5. The other player draws.
Then I will tandem unit.
Guys, if there is a specific card you don't know what it does, please be sure to ask about it in chat so I can help you guys out. What you guys know, what you don't know, and then I'll be saying every single card's effect. I think that's just gonna annoy our players.
Said and done.
Then I will magnetic circuit. And magnetic draw for 3. Reach.
We done. I got a cram right.
And then dynamic spark for the knockout.
Look, I'm not complaining.
I'm just okay.
No dribble. Marley's request.
What does my request do?
I'll read it for you. Ronald's request says search your discard pile for 2 different trainer, supporter, or stadium cards. Show them to your opponent, and your opponent chooses one of them. Put that card into your hand and discard the other card. If all trainer, supporter, and stadium cards in your discard pile have the same name, choose one of them. Show that card to your opponent and put it into your hand.
Horus or Artisan?
Colors. Would that be a supporter for the turn?
Yes.
Okay.
Ronald's request is a support card.
Rolling Iron for knockout.
I think this is the narrowest bench I've ever seen you play with, right?
Thank you.
Lex is in it.
Magnetic draw.
That's magnetic.
Circuit. Yeah, my bad.
Welcome, Joshua. It is indeed a very, very fun format. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Both these decks are quite fun too. I myself have actually played Magnuson recently. It is a super
What are you doing?
fun deck.
I am
Cards in hand.
5. Magnetic draw for 1.
Is this attached for turn? What?
Magnetic circuit. Attach for turn.
If you're not familiar with Sweet Light Energy, it's meant to draw 2 cards when you attach it. Ah, yes. Good old Palkia G level X. Let's read the card, shall we? The Palkia G level X has a Pokemon power called Lost Cyclone. Lost Cyclone says once during your turn before your attack, you may use this power. Any player who has 4 or more bench Pokemon chooses 3 of his or her bench Pokemon, but the other bench Pokemon and all cards attached to them into the Lost Zone. You choose your Pokemon first. This power can't be used if Palkia G is affected by a special condition. And of course, it has an attack called Hydro Shot. Hydro Shot for 2 water, 2 colorless. It says discard 2 energy attached to Palkia G. Choose one of your opponent's Pokemon. This attack does 80 damage to that Pokemon. Don't apply weakness and resistance for bench Pokemon. Palkia G level X is a level up Pokemon, so you do need to put it on, or beside rather, the Palkia G in the active spot.
I'm playing one.
It's because I am now talking directly to the microphone instead of letting them talk into the microphone. So, yeah. I think I'm just going to talk to you guys like this, and I'll commentate what I can, because clearly it's not picking them up very well for whatever reason. We have a double Electro Power. Electro Power, very similar to Power Tablets, is a plus 30 for each of those for lightning type attackers. Right now, the Magnezone is in the active spot. This is the Magnezone from Triumphant, a Heart Gold and Soul Silver series set.
Okay, but you're doing 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 25 plus 60?
Yeah.
310? Okay, are you... I mean, you doing the attack?
Yes.
Okay, so 310 minus 80. 310 minus 80 to
30.
230?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So those
Those are
lightning
lost
energy
zones.
are lost zone. They do not go to the discard pile. So for those of you who are not familiar, this is Magnezone from Triumphant. It has the Pokemon Power Magnetic Draw. Once during your turn before your attack, you may draw until you have 6 cards in your hand. This power can't be used if Magnezone is affected by a special condition. It also has the attack Lost Burn for Lightning Colorless, which does 50 times damage. Put as many energy cards attached to your Pokemon as you like in the Lost Zone. This attack does 50 damage times the number of energy cards you put in the Lost Zone in this way. And all of your energy is now in the Lost Zone.
Using up Magnezone. And retreat back into Hisuian Goodra V-Star. Quick ball away, Hisuian Goodra V-Star. Save one.
I believe this is the it's a trap meme personified.
Rolling Iron for knockout.
Playing the Electro Power and Ino. So our Lost Box player here will be drawing just the one card. And yeah, and that's about as, yeah. And our Magnezone player is going to be drawing 2. Our Magnezone player does need to take a knockout this turn, or that will be game.
Oh, okay, yeah. Magnetic draw for 4.
There's no way he can take the knockout. Because they took out the acceleration.
I'm aware.
So your only hope is literally retreat and tank a hit.
That's not a hope.
Time.
130.
I'm just gonna go out swinging. Just go do a Lost Burn for.
Do you have enough?
Yeah, I have Thunder Mountain.
Thunder Mountain. Okay, so 50
50 plus
Cool.
30.
minus 80.
Yeah.
Alright.
So 0?
80 minus 80, 0.
Okay, yeah, awesome. And then yeah, just go for game.
And rolling iron for knockout.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter even if you retreated, I don't me into that.
Oh, okay, yeah, I did, yeah.
Yeah, like when I saw that on the top deck, yeah, it was like, yeah, that's just game.
All right. Ray, can you see how they're doing? I'll talk to Ren real quick. All right, so Lost Box obviously has taken game 1 and round 1 here. With just a minute left on the timer. That did not look like it was going to go your way, and obviously it did go your way.
No, I also built this deck purposely to also be able to like do stuff from behind.
Well, for what it's worth, I also think that there was an extremely large misplay with that Lost Burn attack. I don't think that was a very wise choice.
No, he should have conserved resources to actually be able to take the one shot.
Is about to win the game.
Okay, so they're going to report in just a second here.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys report on the list so I can move the tournament forward, please.
I mean, in fairness, if he had done it to where it was within 30 HP,
Report on the list real quick.
I had the Bianca's Devotion,
Right.
which would have just healed all of it. Yeah.
We're about ready to shift into round 2. It sounds like our other game going on right now is about to finish also. All right, players, that is time. Current player, you are turn 0. All right. Let's wait for our players to wrap up here so we can see our next matchup. Most likely our Lost Box player here is going to sit at the table, and we'll take whoever their opponent is and bring them forward.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I feel like outside of my lost search, I would this one a lot.
My
Did you inform them to report?
yeah. What I was trying to go for honestly was, but because of pricing, My
What was
last-
your? How was your pricing so bad that you had to lost burn like 7 energy?
Well, that's the thing. I wasn't trying to. I was trying to go for the knockout, but
So
the strategy was to get into this, but one was prized, and then the other one didn't show up. So I would need to use all 4.
yeah, you even if you had the other one,
You were short way more than 60
you
damage.
you were short way more, and if you did the extra 30 damage when I had that out, I didn't even need to use my moisture star because I would have just Bianca'd it all away.
Okay, yeah. Then I should have just gone for Guzma something.
Not even Guzma. Like I wouldn't have. I probably wouldn't even have burned the energy because you would need to burn minimum 2 energy over here for the Palkia. You would have needed to burn 2 over here without using the electro powers, and otherwise it would have just been 1-in-1 with an electro power, which at that point your math wouldn't have lined up for a Gudra KO.
So did you just not have any other attackers access? Like nothing? Because
No, not really.
You should have also been powering up the Miraidon, honestly. Because the Miraidon hits for 220.
Right.
The only thing you could have easily have powered up the Miraidon and knocked out the Gudra V, like way
Yeah,
earlier.
because then I would have to just use 2.
this is gonna be a question for you, Ryan.
What?
Ransom Hinshaw says, "Is there any specific Pokemon you try to put in the last one with Palkia, like something that attaches cards to itself so that you can get lots of cards in the last one at once?"
I don't have anything like that in the deck. I mean, like, I don't know if you're in the Discord, but I have posted the A version of the deck in there. But I guess we'll put it on. Do we want to put it on something?
We can put it in the chat after.
Yeah,
in the Discord chat.
we'll put it in the chat afterwards because you'll notice that with mine there is a lot of one-ofs. Because I do have a lot of like different tech in here for different matchups. Like earlier on in this one, I tried going in with the Dialga because the turn back time hits for 60 and then de-evolves the top. So all I had to do is bring up a Magnezone, hit for 60, it de-evolves the Magnezone into the Magnemite, and then knock out the Magnemite. So it's very situational, dependent on it. But a lot of it is literally just do Lost Light Clone to literally just get rid of the stuff that you don't need in that matchup to also fill the Lost Zone a lot quicker. That way you're not as stressed for your Lost Zone choices with Colress or even Lost Vacuum and stuff like that. So like there is definitely stuff in there that I still need to change. Like I think I'm still running Palmers instead of Brocks.
Yeah, that's definitely worse.
Which we found out after I did the SP control because I wanted to change it to Brocks or Palmers instead of 2 Super Rods because of item lock. That way I at least can put stuff back in. The only thing honestly that probably hurt me lost owning that game was actually the Thornton. Cause I love my Thornton play with this deck. It is I can Thornton into so many different like outlets. It's hilarious.
If you are watching the live stream, let me know if it's dropping frames for you guys. I know, like, if it's starting to stutter because it's saying it's complaining that it's dropping, but I want to see what you guys are actually seeing. Because sometimes it says it's dropping a bunch and it's actually still stable.
On them. Did you put it as a drawing?
Thank you, Professor Wills. I'm glad to hear that because the streaming software is like it's like dropping 7% of frames apparently.
Right now, my phone is like very far behind because it just had moved it up from the table.
I mean, it's delayed,
Yeah.
but
I mean, like it's not looking like it's like really dropping frames or anything so far.
it's complaining that it is.
Yeah, because let's stop shuffling. It's still showing that I'm still shuffling.
Well, it's not even current just stream. That is.
It's not giving them a tie option. It's doing a. It only gives them a win or loss option. Are you able to add the manual tie?
Right there. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so our other players, their game ended in a draw. We are going to move on to round 2. All right, so our Monty's in here with you. Okay. Ray, you're gonna play against Caleb out there.
Okay. So I'm standing here.
No,
Oh.
you're,
Oh.
I literally just said you're gonna go play Caleb out there.
Downside is this does have a few. The good thing is if I can get the Palkia into the active and have the G come out, I can just get rid of all those.
We're just waiting on our player to come in here so we can get started on the round. Should be just one moment. All right, so I need you to show the stream both your Slowpoke deck box and your trash bag because it's too good. Yeah, yeah. I love 'em. It's a fancy stuff. I love it.
Me. I just my day's spent. So, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on a round timer here. Just 1 second.
My deck did not play correctly at all last round, but I managed to tie.
Eternal format players, you may begin. This is round 2.
Fight.
I know, right?
I will go second.
Okay.
Our Lost Box player has chosen to go second.
Why are you looking at what he's playing?
That's fair. The audience knows you don't.
Now he does.
Now he does. You don't know what he's playing. This is why I need to have a separate setup so you guys can't hear me. That way I can just commentate instead of having to try to shut up while you're playing.
You need an audio booth.
I need a lot of booths. Audio is definitely among them.
I'm going first, right? Yeah. Okay. So these are 2 cards.
That's a start.
That is terrible.
Mine.
It's probably gonna be a quick game. You know what I was saying about bad starts?
Well, have fun.
I need a glorious top deck of a
Don't worry, I
ball search or something.
do too. Cool. Alright. I'll go first.
What in the... All right, I see Sabrina's Abra and a lot of Ditto. All right, we got some shenanigans going on here. We have Sabrina's
And
Alakazam.
Electrode Prime.
For real?
You know, I feel like if I actually had a good start, this would be actually a really fun game. But I feel like I'm just not gonna show up this
You
game.
about ready to get slapped?
Yeah.
So, for those who are unfamiliar, Sabrina's Alakazam has 80 HP from Gym Challenge. It has the Pokemon power Psylink. Sabrina's Alakazam always has a copy of every attack your psychic Pokemon in play have, including their attack costs and anything else required in order to use its attacks, such as discarding energy cards. This power can't be used if Sabrina's Alakazam is asleep, confused, or paralyzed. Mega Burn for Psychic and Triple Colorless does 60 damage and says you can't use this attack during your next turn.
Alright. Yes.
Okay. That is a card.
Go! Top deck.
Top decking the Colress's Experiment.
I top decked the Ultra Ball. That's
Busted.
weird.
He went and got the Voltoy with the Ultra Ball, right?
Yeah.
Nice. That was Dialga level X. And a Guzma going into the prizes there. So here's the thing. Sabrina's Alakazam can copy the attacks of your psychic Pokemon in play, but Mew can only copy you can only copy basics. It's almost like the game was tuned differently back in the Gym series.
Drop. Yeah, the fact that it says has is really interesting.
Yeah. Curse Hinshaw's commenting on that always has a copy of. Yeah, that's it's definitely wording. You can tell Wizards of the Coast was having a fun time trying to figure out how to word things. To be fair, it's taken them a very long time to figure out how to word stuff, I think, in general. They really didn't solidify a lot of the wordings until like Sun and Moon and Sword and Shield. Yes, basic all types. But being able to copy any psychic Pokemon's attack's not too bad, not too shabby either.
It's pretty cool.
Although it does have 80 HP, although that does make it rescue carryable. So, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
just saying. And level ballable.
What is this?
Wait.
So I think Pokemon Checkup was right before Sword and Shield base set. Yeah. Oh Lord, this is gonna be something. Okay, so there is an Ursaring that's coming out. I'm gonna pull it up real quick.
I'm gonna risk.
This actually might be a game in there. So this is Ursaring from Unseen Forces. It has the Pokebody Intimidating Ring. As long as Ursaring is your active Pokemon, your opponent's basic Pokemon can't attack or use any Pokemon powers. It has,
swaps in play, right?
as long as it's the active Pokemon.
Okay.
It's,
Yeah.
it's Val. It's like that Val thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same idea.
Cosmic.
Except it can't use any Pokemon powers either.
Yeah.
Also has an attack. Drag off does 20 damage for 2 colorless energy. It says, before doing any damage, you may switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with a defending Pokemon. If you do, this attack does 20 damage to the new defending Pokemon. Your opponent chooses the defending Pokemon to switch. And then we have a Rock Smash that does 40 plus damage.
I retreated.
Flip a coin. If heads, his attack
Oh,
does
okay.
40 damage plus 20 more damage. Yes, this is indeed a legendary attacker here.
Okay.
This gets rounded, right? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It depends on who's in the actives first.
Whoa. His is powers, not bodies.
Fair. That's true. Yep.
Yeah, the Dialga level X turns it out. Your turn.
Yes, Ditto basically Thorntons itself.
That's why I was asking. 'Cause I have-
So Ditto basically
I got
Thorntons
love
itself.
for this.
That is true. However, it cannot
Uh,
Thornton Pokemon
Yeah,
EX into
secret
play.
for
And that applies for both the old
Force,
Pokemon
Force.
EX and the newer ones.
Okay.
But capital EX are fine. It's the little X you gotta worry about. I'm also noticing that chat is just straight up broken. It's not showing up at all. That's fun. I'm for what it's worth. I'm reading it out of YouTube's page, and it's not showing up at all on the stream.
Dioga,
Mhm.
yeah.
So you can still do all that, otherwise this would be really broken.
I mean, to be fair, pretty is.
Premier Ball?
That's pretty good.
So Premier Brawl is searching either your deck or discard pile for a Pokemon level X and putting it into your hand. So the links are working for me, but I'm also admin. It should be working for you.
Can I see that one too?
Yep.
Random Hinshaw or Degenerate, are the links working for you that Professor Wheels is providing?
Okay. Thank you.
Then...
Jirachi level X would have been something else. There are so many good Jirachi it could level up from too.
I hate that I missed the energy.
Sekase.
Oh yeah, 'cause I used my items. I need to do that. Let's see what I can do actually.
So a level up retains its stage, so it does not change stages. It's still whatever stage it levels up from. So if it's leveling up from a basic Pokemon, it's still a basic Pokemon.
How's it right now that me and him are essentially almost playing control versus control?
Seems right well. Yeah, that's you don't have to worry about that. I'm going to Cosmic Power. Draw two.
I just love Ursaring so much, so it's great.
He's really cool.
He's just a big old teddy bear.
Impressor.
Pug.
Mm-hmm. It's not like Beware where it's like, yeah, you're gonna take my soul with you.
Could do that. Oh, I should do that actually.
So you're compressoring Claydol, Baltoy.
Let's see.
And Voltorb.
He just wants to explode.
Wants to pop off. Okay, those are discard pile. More variation.
Baltoy.
And then
Rescue carrier.
carrier.
So if you are unfamiliar with this Voltorb has the ability Destiny Burst. If this Pokemon is your active Pokemon and is knocked out by damage from an opponent's attack, flip a coin. If heads, put 5 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon.
Is it power 1 or 2?
It's 2, and then I draw 4. Oh, it's the second one though. Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna grab the use the first
I'll let you answer this one, Santiago. The viewer here asks, so the purpose of this deck is to power up Alakazam, then be able to use the attacks of any psychic Pokemon at any time because of Ditto. Is that correct?
Wait, what? Sorry, I was a big.
I'll read it one more time. So the purpose of this deck is to power up Alakazam and then be able to use the attacks of any psychic Pokemon at any time because of Ditto. Is that correct?
Yeah, kinda.
He says yes, kind of.
Poisoned half. the story for sure. Exactly.
If you don't think the mic picked that up, my cat decided he would be a little whiny, very loudly whiny too. Yeah, I'm playing computer search.
Yo.
Did you report it already?
Yeah.
Okay. This next round, it'll be you and Ray here. Monty. It'll
Okay.
be the two of you.
Caleb.
Oh no, that's messed up then. Because I need you on stream.
Mm-hmm.
But you haven't played Ray, right?
No.
So then, so it has to be you two. I wish we had like two more people. Certain two people could have joined us and chose not to.
My least request. Pokia G.
Mm-hmm.
Then I will deafen.
Drop.
I appreciate the enthusiasm, Degenerate, but I am a teacher. I cannot afford that. Okay, so if you're not familiar with Dialga G is deafen. For metal colorless, it does 10 damage, and then it says your opponent can't play any trainer cards. In this case, trainer does mean item cards or stadium cards from their hand during your opponent's next turn.
Cosmic.
If you are coming to the San Antonio Regional Championships, there will be an Eternal Format tournament on Sunday. We'll be finding a spot that is free from all the tables being cleared up, and we'll be playing a few rounds of Eternal here in San Antonio at the regionals. Keep an eye on chat for the sign-up link for that.
I will also be there.
I can't imagine why.
I would like to propose something to you, Jason.
What, not me playing an Eternal?
Ditto, if that Ditto is okay to exist, then why isn't it okay for Swoop Teleport? It does the same thing,
Yes.
and it's much stronger because it can't be item locked.
I'll look into it.
I would like it for my Regigigas deck that has done so powerfully in the last few tournaments.
So powerfully, you mean by like
I mean, even
free dropping?
this Ditto's good in that too. Really good.
Two.
Oh, no, train it.
Fair.
Swoop Teleporter can get like stuff that can't though.
It says no EXs lowercase e, which is the same restriction as that. Right?
1, 2,
Mhm.
3, 4,
It has the
5,
same
6,
restriction.
7, 8. Luxury ball.
Mm-hmm.
Things are about to get sticky.
Sweet. The luxury, like,
I thought you said
doesn't
you
work
would
if you
get
have a
this
low
one.
X in your discard pile, though, right? Or is that how that works?
No, it's if I have.
Oh, you just can't get a
Yeah,
level X,
I
okay.
can't get a level X, but I can't play it if I have a luxury ball in the discard. That's why it's always a one of.
Gotcha. Real.
I don't know why. Sorry.
Unfortunately, I will not be going to Milwaukee, so anyone going to Milwaukee just kind of have to have fun on their own.
First Mirage shape.
Okay.
stream.
We're having increasing success with game stores actually running internal tournaments. I know, and there was another one that was saying they were starting up here in the general chat like a week or so ago. So it's happening. Turns out it's a really fun format. Who knew? Oh wait, all of us here. We all knew.
Cards in hand.
7.
Retreat. Okay. Now this does time crystal is still active even though it's not active.
Okay. Cool.
Just to let you know.
Thank you.
Rolling iron for knockout.
Deleted. Draw.
So the time crystal he's referring to is each Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's, can't use any Pokebodies.
Luxury ball. Yay, items.
Everybody when they were like, yeah.
Okay, gotta go back into my deck.
Yeah, depending on the deck, it can basically feel like 2010, right, Ryan?
Boy,
Yeah.
still so-
I mean, it's not like I built a pretty much a 2010 deck in Eternal being SP control.
So this is Sabrina's Alakazam versus Palkia Lost Box. To be clear, that's Palkia level X. Not
G
G-
level
Palkia
X.
G level X. Sorry, I thought it was a G, but it wasn't certain.
Because I essentially use that as like the turbo engine.
Mhm.
Like once I'm like if I'm actually able to. And surprising also really messes up the opponent at times.
It's a good way to slow people down for sure.
It certainly slowed Ray down.
Yeah.
Good. Oh, I'm gonna go back in. Oh, my God. Or am I gonna go back in? Let me check. No, actually, I need to play that first. Okay. No, I'm not gonna go back in yet.
Okay, so this is just you can't play Ace Vex.
Yeah.
That's the reason we tied. Is that card?
That one specifically.
I mean, I already played my Ace Vex,
Well,
so I don't
I'll
care.
play Ursaring. But yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
You know what? Stop the string.
Yeah.
that wild
Alright.
tech, huh?
It's literally a 1/1 line too.
Cosmic power.
Broken.
My cards are
I
gonna
have so many like 1/1 liners or 1/0s in this deck.
You all every time you build a Lost Box variant, you're like, let me see how many ones I can put in this.
Well, it's because I build for so many different matchup like contingencies almost.
Yeah. You're just trying to tort it, is what it is.
I mean, pretty much, yeah. Could you do me a favor? Could you pour me some barks? Because I need to stake some meds here in a little bit because I'm trying to get another headache. Please, thank you.
That's so
That's a
mean.
Judge.
That's evil.
I'll have Ira lay on his face.
That's very evil. Considering the allergy there.
It would be the first time that one of them did it.
Okay.
Not quite that directly.
Computer search.
It's on his chest.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're getting a which card is that below the Hisuian Heavy Ball?
Sabrina's Alakazam.
Okay, another Sabrina's Alakazam.
Whole bunch of cards were played. Okay. That was used. The other one was not. Second cosmic. Do you want to cut? Okay. Draw 5. I didn't play support yet, right?
No, because you battle compressor to weigh the ion. No.
Okay. I computer search discarded that.
Or you discarded the ion now.
Yeah.
At least.
Love that guy. Be a secret for Kofu.
Wait. Wait, the deck runs Kofu?
Yeah.
It runs more than one too. It was,
What in the meme?
It's like he's our version of that person that played Dan at a regional.
Except he's playing Kofu in an Eternal tournament.
that's not the only wacky card in that deck either.
Oh, I'm sure there's more.
Yeah.
You should have seen my face playing against this deck. I had no idea what was happening.
I mean, that's usually what happens when we play against Santiago, right?
I feel like if you like saw the whole spread on this, you would have like slightly similar, but not just as bad. I mean, I'm literally running Dialga level X if that gives you any indication.
Okay. You no pass.
I hate you so much for that one. Because that's gonna survive.
Oh, you're not running Muscle Band in this deck too?
No. If
For once.
if I had it,
If he had a vitality man.
yeah, that too.
At this point, it looks like Alakazam's goal is to make it to time.
Oh, how much time is left?
Just over 7 minutes.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. VS Seeker for Chloris's experiment, playing Chloris's experiment.
Okay.
Those of you watching at home, that was a Mirage Gates and a Palkia G that were just put in the prize cards, or in the prize cards, and above the prize cards for the Lost Zone.
Floatstone. Level up.
Yeah.
Lost Cyclone.
Was it 2?
You go down to 3. The others are lost owned and all cards attached.
Okay.
So Lost Cyclone is forcing our Alakazam player here to choose a couple of his Pokemon and put them in the Lost Zone, along with all cards attached to them. Lost Box player is using that same effect to Lost Zone for their Pokemon to boost their numbers in the Lost Zone to make it so they can play some other cards.
Cards in here?
You could do that like every turn, right?
Yes.
Okay. Brutal.
Artisan.
Okay.
Awful Artisan is just buried by the big streak.
That's your turn. And pass.
Okay. Draw. Let's see. Pretty sure. All art left. All with the yards on. We need to do this.
Caleb's suffering with PTSD currently.
Dash and retreat.
So during the Diamond and Pearl, Platinum, and Heart Gold Silver series sets, that whole Generation 4, trainer means item card.
The level X's still count as basics, right?
If they're
If
leveled
they're
up
on
from
the
a basic,
basic,
yes.
Hmm. Okay. Lower D and then the Floodstone.
The Floodstone.
Artisan and
Artisan?
Florida.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then Cosmic. 4. I don't think I supported yet, right? Nope.
Oh,
Real.
actually.
Do that. Use Seeker. For a Kofu.
I'm sorry, but for a Kofu, just sounds hilarious. Why Kofu? Why did you put Kofu in the deck?
It
I have
makes
to.
sense once you know what the deck's trying to do.
Sure.
What, stall me out?
No. Okay. And pass.
I get it. It doesn't mean I'm happy about it. Like, it actually makes perfect sense too.
Bloodstone.
Okay.
So the dirty words. So Heart Gold and Silver era are the ones with the gold and silver borders that are kind of like blended into each other. However, the Platinum series, you're just gonna have to get used to identifying them. They do have a distinct look to them. They all have that same Diamond and Pearl appearance. But it's either know the sets or know the appearance of the Diamond and Pearl cards, and you can figure them out that way. Basically, if you look at a card and go, man, that seems extremely powerful. If it says trainer on it, and you look it up and it says that it's from a Diamond and Pearl series set or a Heart Gold and Silver series set, you can pretty much know for certain. No
Yeah,
for
just
certain.
let me go for a last turn. No, that's- Let's see.
But yeah, again, if you are familiar with the Diamond and Pearl and the way those cards look, the whole era, then or the Heart Gold and Silver series, because that's also part of the Diamond and Pearl block, then yeah, 100%. You'll be able to find them really quick, but you do have to get used to how those cards look.
Mm. Dang. Well,
Okay.
Does it all make sense now?
I don't think so.
So you're not the only one.
But
Supreme.
well, no, I can't. It's like that.
Yes, the whole Level X era is from Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah.
Level X Pokemon were like the big chase for that for Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum.
Okay, do it. Good game.
All right, we have a concession here with just 10 seconds left on the round timer.
That's what I had prize still.
Go ahead.
Nice.
Anyone you at least want you to report on Limitless, please.
Okay.
Just that.
Is that just a stall?
This?
Yeah.
No, this is an attack that I can use.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That is true. If you need it.
Alex, welcome to the
Yeah,
stream.
Alex.
You guys have Eternal Format tomorrow. That's cool. We had ours today at the store, and we're having another one here at my place now.
These,
We're getting ready to
see,
switch
level
into
X is
round
actually,
3.
strong
Yeah,
this week.
I was gonna say that probably messed you up pretty bad.
Did it?
Yeah.
go through?
I could have gambled
I
it last
feel like
turn.
that was the big thing.
Yeah, well, no, this one mattered a lot too.
Yeah.
I could have done it last turn, or tried to do it last turn, but it would have been a gamble. I should have just tried it. I forgot that Time Crystal stays on all the time.
Yeah.
Such a butt card.
I love that. I love how so many people hate the Alchemist Sheila Flex.
Such a
You,
butt.
the pokey body of it, and then just being able to just item lock them also. Well, item and stadium lock.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Eternal's better than expanded anyway. It's all good.
That is true.
All right, round 3. Let's get our players in place. So the Sabrina's Alakazam player conceded. If we have a little bit of time, we might see if we can maybe get a game with the Sabrina's Alakazam player and let them actually play their deck as it's intended to be played. Unfortunately for them, the level X techs in the Lost Box deck really
They're pretty strong.
shut them down pretty hard, so it kind of it cramped their style. How's that?
Do you think I have a chance?
I love that. You think I have a chance?
I like how I'm literally running it as a meme too, and it's still working.
It's not a meme. I'm
It's not a
sorry.
meme. I don't know why you picked like your most competitive deck as
This
your
is
lol for
not
fun
one of my
deck.
most competitive decks.
I disagree.
I think it's up there. yeah,
disagree.
yeah. It's definitely one of your more competitive decks. I'm sorry.
In fairness, nobody else.
You would have been-
This,
You would
this
have been more
apartment-
justified in calling your Festivally deck a meme deck than this,
Yeah, I agree with that.
and you won with it earlier today. So
Yeah, I've gone in second with it also.
He's ready for the grass apple.
the grass.
No, I'd say outside it, honestly, probably outside of SP control, this is the one I probably put the most thought into.
And yet it's not a meme.
I don't think Lost Box mechanic falls in.
Yeah, it's not. All right, Eternal Format players. Round 3 is go.
Why'd you move the mic?
Because I'm loud when I yell at.
When the companion goes too quiet.
Yeah, and I jacked up the gain, so it's like really loud now.
It's fine.
Plus, it's actually at me, so a lot closer. All right, let's get that coin flip. Let's go, go, go.
I was picking up the Lost Thunder one specifically.
I can't imagine why.
Tails.
Most
And it's gone forever.
best recent standard format.
Alright, time to use my professor one.
It's right. You said tails?
Yes.
I will go second.
How dare you?
I've won so few coin flips today. Also, I'm sad that because it was round robin, I don't get to dodge Ryan this time.
Yeah, you didn't get lucky today. United Wings makes sense. Lost Box makes sense. Palkia Box makes sense. Seems good.
I hate you.
I didn't even see what that was.
I
Alright.
saw one card and was like,
Are we about to see some
There
clapping?
were several cards I saw. It wasn't just one.
We had some good variety at the store today too. We had what, Magnezone box.
We had two
We had Magnezone box, Magnezone Lightning box, and Magnezone EX Control, which are two very different decks.
There's Urshifu,
Urshifu.
senior.
senior played Urshi.
No, did he?
He played Urshifu with Iron Valiant EX.
Are you still playing that build?
And then junior was
Water box.
His water.
He plays the Palkia
his,
water box.
Palkia water box.
Mhm.
Um,
You were playing Hydrapple,
mhm.
I like to call it
Christian was playing United Wings.
even though it's one.
Mm-hmm.
Christian was United Wings.
And then his was
I'll
Arc.
show you my
Dialga Dura.
Arc.
Arclava.
Archealga.
I called it something in the
Archealga.
website review.
Archealga.
I called it Archealga or something. Archealga. I don't remember.
You know what's
Yeah, and
funny?
random Hinshaw. This
That
is also the best place
you
to like
giving me
ask
all-
questions because I'm live right now. You can ask the question away.
Because it means that it's more likely for me to hit stuff that I actually want.
Oh, it's bad for me as well.
Yeah, it's bad for you, not bad for me. Bad for you.
It's very.
All right, so you're just feeding this monster over here.
You know, it's like I have a
Look.
choice.
Beelzebub.
To me, it just looks like Blossom's like doing some sort of weird ritual.
Can we hit 8 mulligans?
Yeah.
So we can have a judge mulligan on stream.
A judge ball. Can you imagine actually having to have a judge ball? Ooh.
He would hate that.
I mean, 8 mulligans would be terrible against Lost.
Yeah, that at that point it's just like take me 2. No.
All right, Jirachi start with a Palkia G on the bench. And on the active spot, we have Iron Crown EX. Artisan active.
Artisan.
Oh, this is the Cheek Clapper EX. Gotcha.
Sure.
I thought you would
You heard
go
it
with
here
that.
first, folks. It's the cheek clapper.
Yes.
Quick ball, way.
I like everybody's reaction to that card.
That is indeed an authentic signed Justin Basil V-Star marker.
Did someone comment about it?
Yes.
Funny. I've had this thing forever too, and it's been in so many videos.
Love it. Professor Wheels is like, huh?
I don't think this is a real card. Looks like
Marley's request?
Yeah, there's
Very
no
much a real card.
Marley in Pokemon.
Clearly there is.
That's an OC. Ryan's OC.
Ryan's OC is Beelzebub, sir.
I feel like that's
It's just
That
it's
guy
it's just Bayonet in a dress.
it's just Bayonet holding a
With Dragon Ball in
TM
disguise.
Is it Evolutor
Evoluder.
And
TS1 Evoluder. Yeah.
with a
Ah.
Houndoom on a leash.
I purposely did this setup this way.
Sure.
Well, because if he bosses or if he got that up, I at least still have one.
I mean, that's what you did in the first game too.
My balls are head. For Iron Hands, crazy. What's so funny over there?
Just we're doing phrasing, right?
Called bench hand.
Have we ever stopped?
Future booster artisan.
Oh, that's busted. I love it.
This is like the least eternal deck I could have brought to.
Yeah, I noticed.
What's funny is I've actually been wanting to build actually future box Eternal.
It's not really. It's more expanded than eternal, to be honest, which kind of sucks.
I mean, that's essentially what like 90% of my Maridons were.
I mean,
it just sucked. There wasn't a whole lot of like electric stuff pre Black and White. Is the problem.
yeah. Well, I mean,
It's like
Unless you count, like,
Sunny Shore City
My
Gym.
unless you
Turbo
count like
Hand.
mine.
It was like
That's not,
my
like,
Turbo
very
Hands was
specific.
all just expanded.
There is Magnezone, which is good. Obviously, that's helped Ray a lot today. But
So do I go for permanent amp, or do I be safe?
turn 1 amp. Are we gonna try turn 1 amp? That seems fun.
So first of all,
Nice. Windstorm is basically Field Blower. If you're not familiar, you get to choose to any combination of Stadium or Tool card in play, and then have them discarded.
Power.
Did you just? Oh, is that the reverse?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It
Yeah, that card's beautiful.
Alright, we're
would be my
doing-
third one. Look, I need my playset. I play retro. Huh?
It feels bad.
Do it.
Man, knocking out Jirachi for 2 prize cards though.
And then giving me
I'm not
any
winning
any
this
card
game.
out my deck.
Touch return. Research. Crown.
You should see me in a.
Techno radar. Discard. Wish you did anything this matchup.
The table is shaking a lot.
Not it.
Frowns.
Literally no part of my body is touching me.
these are more familiar faces for those of you who are more versed in standard. This is
Definitely not
it's,
standard.
It's I mean it's Future Box.
Mine is probably mine is.
No, I'm not
more
talking
of
about
a
yours. I'm
callback.
talking about his.
Yeah, I was like,
His
you got
is Future
essentially
Box.
This
Diamond
is
and Pearl
new
right
versus
now.
old.
Yeah.
It's quite literally future versus the past. This is
Well,
like
I mean, Lost Box has got some newer stuff in it too, but I see what you mean.
I just love how scary I've made. Honestly,
I'm
this
gonna
deck.
generator. Do you want to cut?
It's a very important cut. Dang, let's not. Let's not.
This is why we don't play Miraidon, kids.
Friends don't let friends play Miraidon.
Only I play Miraidon.
Yeah, but you have a contract with Beelzebub.
I mean, your Fissurbacks knows that all too well.
Yeah. You hadn't even squawked yet.
I didn't.
Retreat.
Big sad.
Wishful baton.
Did you? It feels bad.
Of course.
For those of you who are keeping track, that is a Jirachi and a Chloris' experiment that just went into the Lost Zone.
Lost Vacuum.
Target.
Play Premier Ball, getting rid of Wishful Baton. And then we will detour for Chorus Experiment.
So Detour is a Poke power. Basically lets you use the effect.
Attack.
So, oh yeah, yes. Sorry, I'm thinking Wishful. Yeah, it is an attack that lets you use the effect of the support card you played this turn for no cost.
Draw.
Cool. Raymond Shaw says the one online Eternal tourney I played in, I used Dragapult because that's what I was playing in Standard at the time. It got banned immediately afterward. Yeah, so Dragapult was an interesting situation because it was at NAIC. It proved it was probably a problem, but our testing took forever to conclude, and we also wanted to make sure that we were banning it at an appropriate time. So it didn't get banned for a long while after we wanted to initially hit it. But it did finally get banned, and it just happened to be bad timing for you. Part of the problem in that whole time frame is I was moving, so testing did not get to do as much as it wanted. There were a lot of missed videos during that time frame. Yeah, Dragapult EX was definitely a problem in Eternal.
Hi.
Yeah, you're one of the culprits. It was definitely a format warper for sure. And now people figured out that it was a problem by the time it actually got hit. sometimes people don't figure out a problem. But sometimes people don't figure out that a card is a problem when it's hit, and it either has to be explained or it can be explained ad nauseum, and they still don't want to believe it. But
I messed that up.
yeah, that's the thing to do. Oh yeah, it was way overdue. It was deep in the red lists almost immediately after NAIC. But yeah, the testing for it took too long. The hope was that we could find something else to ban to prevent killing the archetype completely, because I in particular don't like killing entire archetypes. If there's a specific card that I can hit to make an archetype that is warping the format and not have to be banned entirely, then I would rather hit a specific card in an archetype rather than hit the soul of the archetype itself. Like if we could have avoided banning Dragapult EX itself, I would have rather done that. But the conclusion was basically just no, Dragapult is absolutely the problem. It has to go.
Does he get additional allotted time for notes?
Nope. 15 seconds still.
And we will put treat what
Trying to rev up over there, Iroh. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but my cat Iroh has decided that he's an engine right now. He's making all sorts of noises.
Lost Cyclone.
Yeah, actually, Random Henshaw, you were talking about how. So, Random Henshaw here saying, even the fact that I had no idea what I was doing and managed to go 3-0 shows how good it was. Yeah, it's true. Water Pokemon Master of Poke Beach played the deck for the very first time at NAIC and made it to the finals. So, yeah, to say that the deck was a little overpowered is not without reason.
Bench versus Seeker.
And he was playing a build of the deck that was lacking some consistency, and it still made it all the way to the finals. He's a jolly good fellow. Oh wait, that's not wrong.
Booster and generator.
For those of you who are still here, I know our numbers are going a little lower as it's getting later. What is your favorite currently legal archetype in the Eternal format? Let me know in chat. So I'm very curious to what we have.
Dragapult.
That
Do you
currently
want
legal?
Do you want to cut before I generator?
That was the energy right there. That was.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't. No, it was the energy.
I would have laughed.
That would have been way stupid funny though. That would have been on the level. That would have been on the level of the whole Raichu thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it would have been on that level.
Return. 120 HP.
And currently, your damage output on that run is not quite 120. We're gonna clap some hands. Beautiful.
You did the funny.
He did the hand clapping. Next up, cheeks.
Level up. Flipstone.
It's the goo. Lost Box is interesting in Eternal because there are so many versions of it. Like in Standard, you get like maybe 2-3 versions of it tops, like 2 like distinct versions. In Eternal, they're just wildly different from one another.
So I'm on computer search for Mirage Shape. Play Mirage Shape.
I mean, at the very least, you can see what this Palkia build does, right? Got some fun tricks up its sleeve, that's for sure. Alright, choosing to put a metal on Hisu and Gudra V-Star and a water energy on Palkia G level X.
Treat. Lost Cyclone.
Choices, choices. So that is the Baby Miraidon going to the Lost Zone with its energy.
And then Rolling Iron for 200.
Oh, I think half the fun of this format is all the deck building, honestly. There's so much fun to be had with the deck building here.
Techno Raider.
All the weird ways you can make things do things that you'd have just never thought about initially. Cards that can go together in beautiful, beautiful ways.
Punch. Touch return. Arm press for 220 my side.
Minus 80. 220.
140.
140.
Yeah, Articuno Lock is really good. Articuno Lock is also very difficult to play well, I find.
You can have one card in your hand, right? Lost Cyclone.
Okay, last cyclone again is that Poké Power on the Palkia G level X, forcing our future box player to go down to 3 bench Pokemon in Lost Zone. Anything else? Yeah, Blindside Nantu was really fun.
Guzman. I'm gonna retreat back into Gudra with Palkia. And I'm gonna use Moisture Star. And then we are going to
Guzman.
or yes. Rolling Iron for 200.
Arm press. 200 my side.
200, so 120. Gordon.
Greens is one of those cards that actually had been banned before too. And I got off the ban list because it looked like it wasn't an issue with another card that got hit. And then it took a while for it to do so, but it ended up proving that no, it also was a problem. Just a little too much freedom in that card, unfortunately.
Then Rolling Iron for knockout.
Draw. Bench. Touch return. How many cards is it?
2. They're the prices I just took.
Yeah, Torchic was super fun. Actually, the creator of that Torchic deck is here. They're the one that was playing the Sabrina's Alakazam deck.
Okay. So to be fair, that was the top.
That
deck.
was the top deck, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you had swung with that, I would have just healed everything.
And that
I'm
was
curious. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just curious to see what the 5 would have been. Oh yeah, Floatstone. So I would have Floatstones, that, and that. I would have just lost on those 2, and then I would have put damage counters there. So
all right. All right, we're gonna get ready for finals here in a moment. Go check in on the game that is not currently being streamed. I'll be right back. Do not go anywhere, please. All right, it looks like we have our results. This is gonna be a fun one. Gonna be switching into finals here in just a moment. Thanks for coming. Yep, it is Ray and Ryan in the finals. All right, we're gonna touch to our finals here in just a second. We're gonna get going, and we'll start our finals round. All right, we are getting ready to begin the finals round.
Stream the whole time.
Unfortunately, the way it worked out, yes. That is
Is
the way
it
it worked.
unfortunate?
Yeah. All right, we are in the finals round of the In Real Life Eternal Format Tournament at my place here in San Antonio, Texas.
Let's go for 21.
All right.
Can I start the new year off with the double?
No,
Double on the same day? Yeah, it's
No.
possible.
no,
Ray just has to shut you down. Ray can get his first W.
not yes.
I will go.
Players, you have a best of 3 for the finals. You have 50 minutes to complete at least a game so that you can get a result.
I will go second.
Okay. Once you're set up, the timer will begin. All right, both players set up. All right, game may begin. Time has started. Finals today is Lost Box with Palkia versus Magnezone Lightning Box.
I already do for turn.
Yes.
It's funny because I predicted it in the thumbnail.
And mountains.
Do you really?
Sure did.
It's just randomness or
Sure.
does anybody
Or,
locally
right
donate anything in
on.
chat?
Then use tandem unit to get a Magnemite and Record V. So going back into the deck. And then
Seven and gold.
retreat thanks to conductive body, so long as I have another magnemite.
Mm-hmm.
Attach. And then fast charge.
So fast charge is an attack that lets you use it on the first turn, even if you're going first. So those of you who are unfamiliar, there's a way to accelerate energy into play with Raichu. Wow, she actually ran straight toward me
Seven
too,
and gold.
not toward her little boyfriend over there. Hey, that was tough.
Oh, okay.
Tarzan. Horse.
So the good thing is you guys have both played against each other already. You guys know some of the wise things to do and some of the unwise things to not do. Right.
Right.
All right. Let's see here. Let's get a poll here. Who is going to win?
And Detour. Horse.
Okay.
I'll let that go for 5 or so minutes. You should cast your vote. Who do you think is going to win the finals? Will it be Magnezone Lightning Box or will it
Speed,
be
lightning, energy.
Palkia Lost Box?
Start with me.
You good?
I'll start off with me.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going back in. I don't know why I'm shuffling. I will Lapras.
Can you put the timer just on the screen if possible? Because that's what I'm looking at.
It's right there.
Yeah, I know. It's just I don't want his half.
I see what you mean. Unfortunately, you just have to not look at the
Okay.
screen. If you need to look at the timer, it's right here.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to like crook my neck.
You have to what?
Crook my neck.
All right, that's what I got.
Do that or I just do this.
Yeah. This is actually the same one. So they won their other 2 games and they came back. So they ended up back against their original opponent from round 1 here in the finals. The benefits sometimes of a smaller tournament.
And then magnetic draw for 3.
We have 2 votes and 5 current viewers. Let's make sure to get those votes in, guys.
So random.
Oh no. Big Light cannot change their screen name back. I think it's one of those things where it makes you wait before you can change it back.
Magnetic circuit.
So it's a magnetic circuit onto Raikou?
Yep.
Okay.
You have 1 card in hand. What are you doing?
Checking to see it. And then I'll do dynamic spark for 60. Put them back up.
Final wish.
You have 4 votes in, now 6 viewers. Guys, 50-50. We're currently split down the middle. 2 people voting for Magnus and Lightning Box, 2 people voting for Palkia Level X Lost Box. Who do you think will win? Poll's going to close in just about a minute. All right, you guys are split. You don't know who's going to win this one.
Search early. Gudra. Marcus.
So back to back getting a card off of computer search and using Artisan to pull Pokemon out of the deck and put it on the bench.
Level up.
Here comes nothing.
Silkstone. Do something on Lapras.
I saw that coming from 1,000 miles away.
And lost Lyco.
No.
I mean, I knew it was coming.
Yeah,
This
no.
is a really devastating one too.
Mm-hmm.
because it's all
Playing down that
it's
Lapras.
it and all cards attached to it.
Playing down that Lapras was a really.
And all cards.
Yes,
Yep,
all cards.
everything attached to it.
Everything attached to it. I'm about to make him go through, get rid of so much stuff.
He's got to make a choice. He's got about 10 seconds left.
I'm curious for the viewers.
So, the viewers, that was Raikou, Speed Lightning, Energy, Speed, or the Force Sealstone, Miraidon, and a U-turn board.
And that's Steve gets it. It's so annoying. So
It
good.
definitely hurts decks that try to go wide.
You're not gonna red listed, are you?
Artisan.
Why would I be red listed? Did you play Avery and do almost the same thing? Glacial says, I think Repeat Ball might be better than Premier I can't speak today.
No.
Premier Ball than in that deck. I mean, the amount of level X Pokemon in this deck is actually pretty high. I think it's pretty good. And Repeat Ball also doesn't get Pokemon from the discard pile, so
Also move to the right shoe this way.
he's just gonna keep feeding the Palkia. Is that what's going on?
No. I'm gonna magnetic draw for 3.
Cards and wait.
I had 3.
Okay. I just want to be sure.
Speed energy. Magnetic circuit. Use him up to Palkia V.
G
X.
level X.
G level X. I have 120. Okay, so I just need to do 2. No, not 1.
No, because remember the weakness is what the weakness says on the
Yeah,
card.
times 2, yeah.
Is it times 2?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is times
Okay.
Do you need a
No.
decision?
2. I will. Dynamic spark for the knockout.
Artisan. Artisan here.
6.
Force experiment.
a secret getting rid of a floatstone.
Right, she's like, I will win. I have to win.
Rashi.
That was a water energy and a metal energy attached to the Dialga there. This particular Dialga that we are looking at is going to be the one from Lost Thunder. Lost Thunder Dialga has the attack turn back time. It does 60 damage for metal double colorless. It says if your opponent's active Pokemon is an evolved Pokemon, devolve it by putting the highest stage evolution card on it into your opponent's hand. And then that 60 damage is very likely to knock out the opposing Pokemon. And then for 2 metal and 2 colorless, it does 130 with Power Blast, and you're going to discard a card, an energy rather, from Dialga.
Secret for the Guzma. Not doing Guzma yet.
Just work handed into a second magnetic circuit magneton for those who are watching. It's very similar to the Aerodactyl in standard. It is a basic Pokemon though.
Palkia.
He has learned to be scared of Palkia.
And then do a free retreat thanks to Zero Aura GX.
Thunderclap Zone. So Zeraora GX has a fantastic ability. If you are familiar with the Archelodon in standard format currently, it's a very similar ability to that. You're looking at the ability called Thunderclap Zone.
Draw.
Each of your Pokemon that has any lightning energy attached to it has no retreat cost.
Magnetic Circuit. Be lightning energy return. And then Dynamic Spark for the knockout.
Luxury one. Suing Butcher V-Star. V-Star.
Yeah, Thornton has swapped out to the Hisuian Goodra V, which is now evolved up into Hisuian Goodra V-Star. Thornton does retain the number of turns in play, so that Goodra was able to evolve up immediately and is now going to
roll
attack
higher for
and knock out the Raichu. The double electric power.
Cynthia's feelings.
So Cynthia's Feelings is a supporter card that says shuffle your hand into your deck and draw 4 cards. If one of your Pokemon was knocked out during your opponent's last turn, you may drop to 8 cards instead. Cynthia's Feelings, I think, is underplayed for how good it is. I feel like. I'm assuming that's Magnetic Circuit.
Yep.
Yeah, it was 3 lightning or 2?
3.
Yep. So you just shuffled, so.
Magnetic draw for 5.
It's like a whiff of Rooney to me.
What are we doing?
I am retreating. Passing.
Okay. Three wasted electric powers. That's ugly. I know I roll.
And see what is in the deck.
Ya no se hemos olvidado.
Rolling 9.
I've seen that hand a couple times already.
Okay.
It hasn't changed.
You already put it down.
Cynthia's feelings. Plays Cynthia's feelings.
So once again, our player will shuffle their hand into their deck and draw 8 cards.
Cut.
Players chosen to get Minen from Secret Wonders. It is a very similar card to our current Pheasant Deputy EX. Pheasant Deputy, of course, lets you draw 3 cards and your opponent knocks out one of your Pokemon during their turn. Minen lets you do 2. Minen is also a single prize Pokemon, which is pretty nifty.
Magnetic draw for 1. Minus charge for 2. Photon Blaster for not 220. Not for 220.
Oh. Let's see here. VS Seeker. Guzma. Guzma. Zero Order GX. Do Jirachi retreat back into Gudra. Finish your star to heal. And then Rolling Iron for knockout.
Magnetic Circuit.
Going to see Marnie once again. Sorry, Marnie player will draw 5, the other player will draw 4.
Magnetic Circuit. Photon Blaster for 220.
140.
4 for 140.
VS Seeker Guzma
Oh, yeah, yeah.
For literally anything.
Yeah, well, I mean, I have to be Lapras or the other, but yeah.
Oh, if you're going to
Or
get Cram,
anything,
yeah.
but yeah.
Just you have Jirachi, you can still retreat out of it.
I mean, I would do the Cram that way. Like it forces him the one prize or has to have the Guzma for the Gudra. But yeah, either
I
way.
mean, you took your last prize,
Yeah.
so I mean, doesn't
Yeah.
matter. All right, going into game 2. So you are aware, players, you have just under 19 minutes left on the time.
If only Thunder Mountain weren't freaking prized, I would have been able to use Miraidon for that.
I mean, that
Not the way.
It-
Not the way
It
the
didn't
turn.
matter, honestly. The Thunder Mountain being priced honestly didn't matter.
Yeah, it didn't make a difference. It wouldn't have decked and knocked it out. anyway.
Once I had the Gudra,
The big problem you have is you keep feeding the freaking Palkia.
yeah, you keep feeding me the Lost Zone stuff.
I try not.
I made him Lost Zone 5 cards
Oh dang.
between him getting rid of 2 cards on his bench or 2 Pokemon.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of which
And for
was
some reason, he
Raikou.
chose to Lost Zone Raikou.
First or second.
Second.
He's the second, right?
Yeah.
I was just making sure before I drew. Arzon. I don't think you're playing Electro Generator because I don't think there's enough energy in that deck for that. Pass.
Arzon.
Do you have a random piece of paper over there?
Not really, no.
This is one I might need a map, but I don't want to keep like unflipping this just to write it down. That's where it's just writing it.
Village.
What are we failing?
Arzon.
Are you going in?
Yes, I am going back in. I just do my markers.
Are you shuffling if you're going back in?
What are you getting?
Right on. Use tandem unit.
are you getting?
I'm using tandem unit to
Yeah.
get
Yeah, but you've been going for a while now.
Raikou V. And Rotom.
Are you going back in?
No, not yet. That's just speed lightning. Cat. Use delivery ball. Get a Lapras. Play a Lapras. Or Arvin. Use Arvin. We're going back in.
Put the U-turn board in your hand also.
Your search.
Are you going back in?
No. Great, thanks to consecutive body. Hit one. Thunder Mountain. And then lightning rondo for the knockout.
Final wish. Oh, not you. He doesn't see it, but
I mean, he's gonna see here in a second anyway. So
Keepers back at home.
mm-hmm.
let's not mess this up this time. So level up. Computer search. Lost cyclone.
Rotom's going, and
What else? You have to go down to 3.
I know.
you made the exact same mistake in the last game. Just saying.
Pass.
Purchase Seeker for Arvin.
Getting a floatstone and a rare candy off of Arvin.
Magnetic draw for 3. Energy. Wait for it.
Yeah, actually, I think that's exactly what it is. Bigelow. It says Palkia level X is taking revenge on Miraidon for bullying his younger brother in Standard.
Don't move on, go for the knockout.
Because Palkia level X is absolutely doing menacing things.
He's a bully.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, Iro. I have this feeling there's going to be another reveal at 4 today. I'm so not looking forward to getting up at 4 to do it. Maybe it'll be more interesting than Bayonet. The Bayonet lets you makes your opponent shuffle 3 cards from their hand into their deck. So you just play that with 0/6, the card that, for good reason, is banned in Eternal.
Not bad.
Just have Garwotoxin out. Hit them with Goop Gas Attack. Hit them with 0/6. Hit them with Bennett. They have no hand, can't draw.
Is it an ability or an attack?
An attack. But good thing is 0/6 already not legal, so we're good. Standard's a little more screwed than Eternal is in that respect.
And then we will detour for course.
Second draw.
Nope, because I'm not done resolving the effect. Thank you.
I was like, once I lost on that, I knew that was obvious.
Magnetic Circuit. Anonymous. Morning.
The Palkia G level X is definitely putting a ton of work this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So many decks in Eternal want to go wide, like really wide in most cases, and so when Palkia's like, no, 3. Everybody's like, but
Yeah. I lost some part of it. It's brutal.
it's very brutal. Yeah. It can be played around though.
So is that a fail?
Magnetic draw for 4. Mhm. Lightning Rondo for the knockout.
Final wish. Quick ball. And we'll get rid of the floatstone. Dormy Mountain.
Yes. Pokemon Level X are indeed single prize Pokemon. The Pokemon Prime, as they were kind of called in the Heart Gold and Soul Silver era, were also single prize Pokemon. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, Diamond Pearl, with the exception of the Legends of Heart Gold and Soul Silver, didn't have multi-prize Pokemon, right? Yeah. And Legends were not.
In
Especially
the only
popular.
time that stuff was a multi-prizer, quote unquote, was expert belt.
Right, but the cards themselves weren't.
Yeah. The cards themselves that weren't.
All right, players, that is time. Current player, you return 0. Yep.
Spit instantly.
This is turn 1 of time.
Magnetic circuit.
Good.
From Marnie.
Are you playing the Marnie?
Are you playing the Marnie?
I'm playing the Marnie.
Yeah.
Magnetic circuit. Magnetic draw for 3. One. Lightning Rondo for the knockout.
This is turn 2 of time.
Turn 2.
Mm-hmm.
Um, mm, mm, Who's my computer search?
Picking one to let him keep, the other one gets discarded.
Neither is great.
Yeah, other way is perfect.
Computer search.
That's the support card, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what he's gonna grab.
He played Marley's already, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, yeah, I already did. I'm just making sure that I at least
It's your last turn.
have
anyways.
yeah, that is your last turn.
cards in hand.
7.
Rolling iron for a knockout.
This is the final turn of this game. And because time has extended rather, or has been expended, this is going to be the final turn of this round.
Do what?
This will also be the final turn of this round.
That. And then
Okay, finish putting those.
Yeah, let's do
in.
some resolutions before we do everything.
Okay, are you going in?
yes.
Play the quick ball. I know you're playing the quick ball too.
You already played it for Mirage.
Yeah.
You got it for the Maridon. The Maridon is going in. Okay. Yeah, you don't need to shuffle if you're going back in. I feel like we've told it a
It's
few
just,
times.
it's just the way you were doing it was all flustered there.
Yeah, it was confusing. I didn't even realize what you were doing myself.
He's got it. I can see it. I see the vision.
I need better glasses, is all I'm gonna say.
Are you going back in?
No. GX. Or system. Cynthia's feelings.
Why are you shuffling your hand if
Right.
if you had to shuffle back in?
Send Marnie to Cynthia's feelings to. You would need to lessen what 8 energy.
More or less, yes.
That's
Is that right or am I off?
what are you doing with your hand?
Yeah.
27.
8.
8.
Yeah.
You either have it or you don't.
You've looked at the hand multiple times already.
You move this back.
Magnetic circuit. Twice. Speed energy.
Why?
I'm just being cautious. Okay.
You have 8 energy in play.
after the minus 80
Is that what we're calculating, Wilson?
as well.
8 times 5 is 400.
Yeah.
You need to do 360 to take a knockout.
Never be too careful. You can never be
Yes,
too careful.
but at this
Yeah.
point, you're
2, 3,
It's just
4,
sudden death.
5.
Yeah.
6, 7, 8.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
okay.
Forget your stadium. All in on that top.
I know, I had to. I was like, okay, I gotta be really cautious. Otherwise, I'm just gonna whip it.
Oh, no, I thought you were Ryan. You went all in on the Palkia play.
I mean, to be fair, that Palkia play is pretty effective.
Yeah. I think you gotta set up your board too.
Yeah, but I will go. I'll go second.
Eternal sudden death. Let's go.
It is indeed sudden death.
Mhm.
In the last turn of time, our Magnezone player eked out the win with with Magnezone Prime.
490 damage.
Yep. You saw the vision. I wasn't seeing the vision. Clearly, he had the vision. He went there. So.
Lick the toad and saw visions.
I tend not to lick toads. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether they're toad squirrels or seismotoads or polytoads. The person who has a prize advantage first wins.
If you look at size until you get item locked.
If you look at a seismotoad, I think it just goes straight to trainer log at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Vacuum. Skate to Blossom. And
They're now on turn 3 in sudden death. So for sudden death in a tournament setting, it's technically called a tiebreaker game. You must lay out all 6 prize cards. Yes. If you are not playing in a tournament setting, then a simple sudden death for like a casual game is down to 1. However, that tends to
are you playing the Arvin?
cause problems for
Yes.
cards like Ino, where they're based on prize cards remaining. So basically, whoever gets Ino off first gets the other person Ino to 1 and can take advantage of that effect. So they can prepare for it and then you do it. Yeah, this is why in a tournament setting, you always sit at 6 for the
I'm
tiebreaker
not
game.
doing anyway, so. Mm.
If you have both of them, just play them.
You don't even shuffle.
Right.
If you have both, just play
If
them.
you have both of them, just play them.
3 even. Okay. That is going to be today's Eternal Format tournament. Our lists will go up on the Discord later. Both the this was an extremely close finals. Both players easily could have taken it. Our Last Box player, of course, has already shared a version of this list on the Discord, correct?
Yeah.
Yep. And then this video is going obviously live here on Saturday. If I'm not mistaken, the Eternal Format video for is it first drafts? I think it's first drafts for this Magnezone deck. Goes live on Monday. Let's see here. Yep, it is. So the first drafts video featuring this Magnezone deck goes live on Monday for Eternal Monday. So definitely be sure to check that out. And we will see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching.